Hey guys, welcome to another Gladiator Soccer Academy video. Today I really want to talk about pressing, and I've got a fun game that really allows the U8 players to understand the concept of pressing, which is a really big concept to grasp, and it's very hard. And the game is called Halfway Derby. The reason it's called Halfway Derby is because the white team gets a point when they pass half. Now, there's kind of a little bit of a backstory behind that. We play a 5v5 league, so you'll see here this is the five that we set up: one goalie, two defenders, one midfielder, and one forward. Now, because our fields are so small, usually what happens is by the time the white team get to half, they'll be able to shoot and score most of the time because just the talent level of the U8s in our league is so high that, you know, their shots are much harder than what the goalie can anticipate. And at this age, we don't really train goalies. So usually pretty much every shot in the air goes in. And I don't tell my players to shoot from half or anything like that. But, you know, sometimes when they see that open lane, you know, when they receive a ball, they'll take that shot. And that's a fantastic kind of awareness on their part. So that's why for me, this game is very realistic that pretty much when they get to half, it's a goal anyway. So, yeah. Now, the team in the white, I'm having them be the coaches. And the reason I do that is because I want to be able to dictate the speed of play. All right, and this is just going to be my regular players. And of course, this can be regular players as well, and you can adjust based on the number of players you have at that practice. You can have, another field over there and have another three, kind of a 5v3. So let's talk about, the concept of pressing. The front player, my forward, they have the very first responsibility of pressing, and that responsibility is to stop the other team from going forward. So if we make this pass over here, we want this player to stop the progression of forward movement. Okay, and sorry I didn't mention this, but the reason we start at half is because in our league, our retreat line is at half. So that's why, I want my players starting here. And for those that don't know what a retreat line is, it's essentially whenever the goalie has the ball, either from a goal kick or when they control the ball from kind of after an attack, not a pass back, but after an attack, then the defensive team has to go to half. And the reason for that is just to try and really get the concept of build up from the back. So we really want to, well, we don't, I don't, but the league really wants to emphasize that. So like I said, first player, first priority, stop them from moving forward. As soon as that happens, we want to get our second or midfielder to stop the passing lane. Okay, so you want to remove a passing lane, and a passing lane is really just a line between the ball and the player. So, and on offense, we want to create passing lanes. On defense, we want to stop the passing lanes. Okay, so we want to step into them, right? And this player could essentially now move forward and create another passing lane there. So, as soon as this player stops forward movement, now we have kind of our team move forward. And my goalie's always a fly goalie, we call it. So they never stay in the net because, again, they're not real goalies. They're 8 years old. So I want them moving up, and they can act as an extra defender. Now, with this, we can now move up and block off this passing lane and just create, a shape where we really try and block and create the ball to move back. And once we do that, that's kind of the first step of the press. Kind of have that first player stop the ball, everyone else kind of protect those passing lanes. The next stage is we want to talk about cues for the players. And what I say is we want to work in levels. So this kind of makes it a really fun game for the players. And the way we do this is this. The first cue we talk about is when the player is facing their own net. As soon as that happens, I tell the players that you can move up a level. And what that means is now when the ball is passed, I want all the players to move up an extra player. So this player was covering this passing lane originally, but now that this player is there, we can now move up. He now can take this goalkeeper. Now this player can move up and take away this passing lane. And then we have that, because the reason we do this is because when a player isn't open with their body, the only place that they can go is really back, right? So there or there if there was a player with the 5v5. So that's an excellent cue, and the first cue that we use to get the players to understand this leveling up concept. The next one is if the player decides to play it back and restart. Okay, so let's say we want them to have their body open, but because our pressure is so good, we restart. And now, again, everybody can move up. So now what we have here, this is our defense. This player can now move up. This player can move up to this passing lane, and we have this situation there, right? Just like this. Okay, and again, once they get comfortable, then we can start maybe adding more players, right? And if we add more players, that changes, obviously. Then these guys have to take away this passing lane, right? And things like that. But I find that this is a really good introduction into pressing. And the best thing about it is, in a real game situation, rather than telling Johnny to go wide to the wing, right? You can just say press, right? You can say stop forward movement, right? You can say take away passing lanes. And the decision to do that is on them, right? Because we don't want to make the decisions for the players. So we don't want to tell him, mark number 7. But what I do want to say is stop forward progress. And the way he does that or she does that is up to them, right? Or if I say cover a passing lane, maybe he stays here. He's covering this passing lane, right? Rather than, this passing lane, which is fine at this age. Then maybe this player has the awareness now to cover this passing lane, and we move forward with that. But I find that this is a great way to really introduce the concept of pressing. So thanks so much, guys. If you liked the video, give me a like, and I'll see you next time.